There are certain shows that didn't just entertain you as a kid. They slightly ruined you, and in the best way. And if you grew up in the 90s, there's a very specific laugh that still lives in your brain rent-free. Yeah, that one. I'm Kayla, and welcome back to Cafe Crashdown, your cozy corner of horror, sci-fi, and beautifully questionable childhood media. And today we need to talk about the fact that Tales from the Crypt is finally landing on Shudder with all 7 seasons, which honestly feels a little bit like the universe healing, because trying to find these episodes on decent quality over the years has been, well, needless to say, it's been a journey on YouTube, okay? A very slightly cursed journey. And now we can just hit play. And here's the best part. Season 1 drops Friday, May 1st, and then we're getting a new season every Friday through June 12th, which means for the next few weeks, you basically have a built-in horror ritual. Every Friday, new Crypt Keeper chaos, and honestly, that just, yeah, it feels correct. So whether you're revisiting this as a 90s kid or discovering it for the first time, this is the perfect moment to jump in. So today, I'm giving you 7 episodes to start with. Not just the best ones, but the ones that define what makes this show so iconic. Before we jump in, we need to talk about why this show still hits, because Tales from the Crypt wasn't just horror. I mean, come on, it was campy, it was twisted, funny, occasionally darker than it had any right to be. Every episode felt like a mini horror movie with a typical punchline, and at the center of it all, you got the Crypt Keeper, you know, equal parts chaos gremlin and iconic host, delivering those puns like your life depended on it. This show taught a whole generation that horror can be fun, stylish, and just a little bit mean. Let's open the bowl.
Hello, kitties.
And all through the house, if you know, you know, okay? A woman murders her husband on Christmas Eve and immediately has to deal with an escaped maniac dressed as Santa Claus, which is already stressful. But what makes this episode so effective is it never lets you breathe. It's basically one long tension sequence. You got no filler, no distractions, just pure escalating dread. And it proves something right away. This show doesn't just camp. It can go dark, and pretty quickly. Next up, we got Television of Terror. A sleazy TV reporter hosts a live broadcast from a haunted house to prove ghosts aren't real, which historically is never really a good plan, let's be honest. What makes this one fun is how it plays with the format. You're watching a broadcast inside a show that slowly unravels, and it taps into that classic horror rule. Arrogance always gets punished. Also, watching this guy slowly lose control, very satisfying. Before we open the next crypt, let me tell you about something super awesome. This video is sponsored by my friends at Mysterious Adventures Tours, and this one feels very aligned with everything we're talking about, because if you love classic horror, this is basically that, brought to life. They're hosting a Frankenstein Halloween tour through Switzerland and Germany. And one of the most incredible parts about this experience, you will be traveling with Sara Karloff, okay? The daughter of horror legend Boris Karloff, which is just freaking wild, okay? Like, imagine exploring iconic Frankenstein locations with someone whose family helped define horror history. That is not just a trip. That is a full circle horror moment. You'll visit legendary sites tied to Frankenstein, and then on Halloween night, you'll be at Burg Frankenstein, the actual castle, on Halloween, which feels like something straight out of a horror movie, but it's like a huge Halloween party at Burg Frankenstein, Halloween night. That's freaking awesome, okay? And the best part, they do offer payment plans, so this is something you can actually start planning now, because Halloween is closer than you think. If this feels like your kind of experience, I'll leave all the details in the description below. Now, let's get back to the crypt.
Good evening, Fearlands. You're just in time.
Next up, we have the Ventriloquist dummy. Okay, this one, deeply uncomfortable. Do not do well with dummies, okay? A struggling ventriloquist and his dummy, and something is very, very off. This leads into more psychological horror. You've got control, identity, performance, and it slowly builds that uneasy feeling where you're like, I don't like where this is going, and then it definitely goes there. Also, just in general, ventriloquist dummies are already cursed, right? Like, we can all collectively agree on that, right? The next one we have is Yellow. This episode is different. It's set during World War I. It follows a young officer facing execution. And what makes it stand out is it drops a lot of the camp. It leans fully into drama. It's cinematic, it's emotional, and it hits harder than you expect. This is where you realize this show definitely has range.
Well, kiddies, I'm afraid our designer hanger offer has expired.
Next up, we have Death of Some Salesmen. I mean, Tim Curry playing multiple roles in one very, very strange and very uncomfortable situation. This episode is just pure chaos. It's a dark comedy, absurd characters, zero restraint, and somehow it just works, okay? It's weird in the best way. Up next, we have The New Arrival. This one sneaks up on you. A radio psychologist visits a troubled child's home, and everything feels off almost immediately. The episode builds dread slowly. It doesn't rush, and that's what makes this hit harder. It sticks with you. And last but not least, we have Dig That Cat, He's Real Gone. Yes, a man discovers that he has 9 lives and turns it into a performance act, which is already a bad idea. And because this is Tales from the Crypt, it leans all the way into irony. This is classic storytelling. Set it up, push it too far, watch it collapse. Perfect ending. This one is definitely a super iconic episode. I highly recommend that you watch it if you've never seen it before. So those are your 7 episodes to start with, your gateway to Tales from the Crypt, or your introduction if you somehow missed it. And honestly, this show still works because great horror doesn't age and just finds new audiences. So now that it is rolling out weekly on Shudder in May, you've got your watch list, you got your assignments, your slightly questionable Friday night plans. So tell me, what episode stuck with you when you used to watch Tales from the Crypt? And which one are you starting with? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell because we are only getting deeper into horror season from here. And things are about to get, well, much worse in the best way. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Have a good one.